this video, I'll show you how to turn a simple wooden board into a stunning graffiti sign with LED lights, perfect for anyone on a budget. I'm sketching my design on my iPad using Procreate. My tag is column, a unique twist on my last name, Columna. It's also a subtle nod to one of my favorite characters, Gollum from the Lord of the Rings. For this piece, I'm taking inspiration from traditional graffiti styles. I added 2 Chinese guardian lions, or karajishi, flanking the tag. I've also included 2 peony flowers on either side of the letters. Once I'm happy with the design, I'll export it and use it as a guide for transferring to the wooden board. Next up is transferring the design onto the wood. I start by printing out the digital design and using a Lightbox to trace it onto transfer paper. I like to use a dark brown pencil for the tracing. It's subtle enough not to leave harsh marks on the wood, but still visible enough to guide me. Once the stencil is ready, I position it onto the wooden board and secure it with some tape to keep everything in place. As I trace, I use a blue pen to keep track of the areas I've completed. It's a small hack that saves so much time and hassle. With the tracing done, I apply a layer of matte medium over the drawing to lock it onto the wood. This step ensures the design stays in place through all the upcoming painting layers. To set the foundation, I add a base layer of yellow diluted acrylic paint over the entire piece. This creates a vibrant undertone that will make the final colors pop even more. Now it's time to cut the wood and bring the design to life. For this step, I use 2 small hacksaws, one with a larger rounded blade for tackling the big sections, and another flat, smaller blade for the intricate details. It's a completely manual process, but the precision it offers is worth the extra time compared to using an electric jigsaw. To keep everything steady, I secure the wood firmly onto a desk before starting. Then I carefully follow the design, cutting as precisely as possible to maintain the shape and details. Now it's time to paint. Usually I start with flat colors and add shadows and highlights later, but this time I did it differently. Using the same diluted acrylic paint, I added layers to create shadows and volume as I went. The more layers I added, the darker the colors got. So I ended up with the base color and shadows at the same time. I chose warm colors because I tested the piece in the spot where it will go, and the wall behind it is green, a cool color. Warm colors not only stand out better, but also match my brand's look. For the highlights, I imagined light coming from above. Once the base and shadows were done, I added lighter tones where the light would naturally hit to make the piece look more 3D and lively. Now it's time to add the outlines, just like the graffiti you see on the walls. I used different markers for this. For the big lines on the letters and the Chinese dogs, I used 1M and 3M Posca markers. For the smaller details, I use a 0.8 permanent marker to keep it neat and precise. After finishing the outlines, I brightened up the letters with a white 1M Posca marker to make them stand out as the main focus. This step really helps give the design depth and energy. To make the sign stand out of the wall, I added some LED strips to the back. These were really cheap, I got them from AliExpress for just €2. They are USB powered, so I can connect them to external battery to turn them on easily. I use double-side tape to stick the LED strips to the back of the piece. It's a simple way to give the sign a cool glowing effect when it's up on the wall. If you like this project, check out my other video where I made a Japanese hania mask on wood. another cool and budget-friendly DIY. My name is Daniel Columna, and I will see you very soon. Adios!